All right, y'all. Back at it with another cozy review. Today we're gonna be talking about Superman. I ain't gonna lie, I just got out the theater to watch this movie, and I ain't gonna lie, this is probably. I just got off the phone. With my man's talking about this. This is, this is probably the best Superman adaptation that we've seen live action wise. I ain't even gonna hold you. I know Man of Steel holds a strong place in a lot of people's heart, even mine. But I gotta be honest with y'all. This movie right here, the way that David Cornsworth portrays Superman, the way James Gunn executed the movie, this is an authentic Superman movie. Even with all the other characters that's intertwined in this, you would think with the trailers, seeing Green Lantern, Hawk Girl, Mister Terrific, and all of them, you would think that it would take away from the fact that this is supposed to be like a Superman movie, but it doesn't. At the end of the day, I feel like all of those characters are used in a way that's perfectly, intertwined with the pacing of the movie, especially Mister Terrific, because he kind of keeps the movie pushing forward as a main supporting character. Him, Lois Lane, I feel like are the two people that really keep the movie pushing forward, other than Superman. And you have Nicholas Hoult playing Lex Luthor. He does a real good job doing his thing in this movie. I ain't gonna lie, he's one of the best parts in this movie. For real, for real. The way that he portrays Lex Luthor, he really brought it for real. In every scene, he's really hating on this nigga. Like Lex Luthor is really a hating ass nigga, and this motherfucker really brought that out. He was really passionate about the hate that he had for Superman, and you really felt it in the end when you seen everything play out the way it did, and this motherfucker start crying. It's like, damn, this motherfucker really hates Superman that much, bro. And it's like, you can't do nothing but really feel it through the screen. Everything that like all the emotions that James Gunn wanted to big up in this movie, he did it in a way that was authentically corny. If you get what I mean, you feel me? I feel like we ushering back into the era of corny, authentic movies in terms of the superhero genre. This movie kind of gave me the same vibe as, Spider Man from back in the day, Tobey Maguire's Spider Man. He brought the constant scheming mentality of Lex to life for real. Yeah, he really did bring the scheming mentality. Like he was in that motherfuckers talking about some 1A, 1A, 1A. That Falcon punch. He was going crazy. He trying to hit them combos like a nigga on the fucking COD mic. I ain't gonna lie. That motherfucker Lex Luthor was really going crazy. When he had Ultraman in his pocket, he was like 1A. That he was spamming that 1A, that right hook that was going crazy on Superman. For real, for real. I ain't gonna lie, I like the way they played that out because they really had a threat that kind of matched Superman's level. And they did it in a way like, okay, Superman been Superman for 3 years. He done overachieved everything, but now this is the time he really faced a foe that held their own, and he lost in the battle. You feel me? To Ultraman in the beginning of the movie. That's how they started it off. So it's like, okay, you have a villain with some other villains in there that's kind of up here with Superman. That makes sense for him to have the struggle that he's having. And with that being said, in comparison to Man of Steel, because I know a lot of people are gonna compare to Man of Steel. Man of Steel, you feel me? Although I love that movie, I feel like it's a way different adaptation and perspective on Superman. That movie holds Superman in the light of like a god, somebody that comes down from the sky and really is, more powerful than the average human. Somebody that could really overrule us if he wanted to. And, from a lot of people's perspective, that may be their interpretation of Superman. In this movie, he's looked at as a real hero, somebody that came from the sky to really save the people type shit. Someone that's like a savior. I feel like both of them obviously portray him as a savior, and Superman has always been like a reflection of obviously like Jesus and other super religious figures. But at the end of the day, this movie does it in a way that doesn't portray him as a god, but portray him as a human that is able to how should I word this? As somebody that is above humans, that's able to see himself in humans. You know, a god trying to be a human for real. Yeah, Exactly. Like Man of Steel was really focused on showcasing and emphasizing the fact that Superman is different from us. Like he is not the average human. Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman. That was the whole point of it. You feel me? Like he's a god. This is man versus God right here, and this is man intertwining with God, having him on Earth, and him, intertwining with man. This movie is more so focused on Superman coming here and seeing his role in this earth in this world in a way that other people don't see it. We see how the words get twisted out there, and it's kind of portrayed that Superman came down here to just rule over Earth. And I feel like that also plays off of the fact that Man of Steel was made in the way it was, where it was looked at like a god complex type of thing. But in this movie, that's like a villainization of Superman, the way that he was looked at to come down here and overrule everybody. And he's the one that's trying to show that he is human just like the rest of them. Like he goes to work every day, he wakes up and deals with the struggles of having the average human life because he wants to, intertwine himself with humanity. He doesn't want to live as a person that's overruling people or living above people. He wants to live with the people and save the people because he knows that he has these abilities. He wants to save these people and do right by people, but he doesn't want to live above them. And that's the whole point of him. He's trying to really uh he's trying to really intertwine with humanity, and it's done in a way that's authentic, and it really hits home with the heart of Superman and what Superman really is. People that really like Superman, I feel like are gonna like this movie. People that are looking for something that is in comparison to something that Zack Snyder made aren't gonna go into this movie and like it coming out. They're gonna go into this movie and try to pick apart what they could hate and what they could kind of, you know, compare and just. But I ain't on that. You feel me? The way I see it, we have two different movies that are both good in my opinion, that showcase Superman in two different lights. Overall, I feel like we need media that isn't just one tone. At the end of the day, we do need different, eras of things. We went through the era of the darker versions of certain characters, and now we're back in the era of the more heroic and hopier version. It's going to be a lot of joy in these next few movies, I could tell. And with the way that they are, intertwining other characters that are going to have movies in the future, like, Supergirl, I feel like, you know, the ripple effect of this universe is going to be good. It's not going to be something that's bullshit. A lot of people was looking at it like, okay, James Gunn may not have it all the way like we thought he did. I ain't gonna lie, this Superman movie really set the tone for the rest of the universe, and I'm looking forward to what they got in store. They even, you know, show different things like how, you know, Green Lantern and Mister Terrific and them was fighting a whole other villain outside, and Superman was just like, they can handle that. I'm gonna worry about this over here, and it just shows you that there's gonna be moments where certain heroes are gonna be over here, certain heroes are gonna be over there, and they're gonna be fighting different feats and foes, but it's all gonna make sense because they're gonna be fighting threats that's leveled out with them. They're not gonna send Hawk Girl to fight Brainiac. It's gonna be Superman and Brainiac, and they're not gonna send Superman to go handle the Riddler, and Batman the way he is, he gonna handle that. So it makes sense the way they setting it up and setting the tone for this. They didn't overdo it with the companies, with the campiness of the comic book aspect either. Yeah, they didn't overdo it. I feel like it was a perfect balance. I feel like it was a perfect balance of comedy, campiness, subtle, slower tones, and just the pacing overall was good, honestly, because it took you through all the different emotions of Superman. The sadness, the joyfulness, the caringness, the I want to do this, but I feel like giving up. It went through all of those emotions, and it did it in a way where it didn't feel rushed. The movie was fast paced, but it wasn't rushed in a way. You know, everything played out, and the ripple effect of everything made sense. You feel me? Overall, coming out the theater, what I get this movie? I think I give it like a 9, like a 8.7, 8 point. I don't want to. It's like it's anywhere between like an 8.5 and a 9. That's like if you're gonna give it a low rating, it's gonna be an 8.5. It can't go any lower than an 8.5 in my opinion. Ain't no, bro. Can I say, bro? I really gotta sit down and really think about it, though. I don't know if it's a perfect movie. I don't know, bro. I don't know if it's a perfect movie, bro. But it's definitely like a 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10 for me. I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't gonna be one of them hating that nigga, bro. I'm gonna like, it's gonna be a 9 out of 10. But for those that's trying to critique little shit in there, like, oh, why does you know how motherfuckers try to overanalyze shit? They could say, oh, it's an 8.5. You can't go any lower than an 8.5. I paid to see it more than 2 more times. I ain't gonna lie, I would go see it again. I kind of do want to see it again. I think I might see it again. For real, for real. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think I might see it again. I think I might because there's some things I want to rewatch in that movie, man. That scene when they was in the pocket dimension. I'm not gonna lie, that's one of the best scenes in the movie. Metamorpho, the way he's used is dope. I ain't gonna lie, everything about this movie is dope. 9 out of 10 movie. It's an A. We giving this movie an A. You feel me? An A. It passes. If this was an exam, it would have a 95 on the exam. I'm not gonna lie. Probably like a 97. This is a good ass movie. This is one of those movies that you're gonna keep on, like, you could dead ass keep on watching this type shit years to come. Like, throw this shit on for your kids and shit. But yeah, with that being said, that's at least gonna wrap up the YouTube video. You feel me? Make sure y'all follow me on Twitch at Jamal Hollywood. And yeah, next movie up probably gonna be Fantastic Four. I ain't gonna lie, we're gonna see how that one rocking out. But yeah.